In this video, we'll talk about the 4 Thoroughbass fugues at the end of Kellner's treatise. They are numbers 44 through 47. I really love that he concludes his treatise with fugue because it helps to demystify this often intimidating genre. He shows that Thoroughbass fugues, or that fugues, can be understood in terms of Thoroughbass if you always place the subject in the bass. That means that the subject is the bass line that is realized just like any other Thoroughbass exercise. So this fugue actually begins with an overture, and he indicates that it begins with a unison texture. So you don't have to do anything here, it's already given. Then beginning here, you can realize these 3 6 chords and so on. And I've given also some of these harmonies already completed to help you out a little bit. Okay, let's jump ahead to the second page where the fugue actually begins. It begins with the subject here stated alone, as we would expect, and then the subject comes here in the lower voice. And for these two systems, you don't need to do anything. Here's the counter subject in the upper voice, and you don't have to do anything until measure 26, where the subject enters in the tenor voice, and you need to add 2 upper voices so that the texture is 3 voices in total. I've given this voice that is not in the original. All you need to do is add a middle voice. So for instance, this F sharp might resolve to a G here. And then we have a 6th chord. We already know that can be realized in 3 voices, and here it must be realized in 3 voices. Here we see a 7. We add the 3rd. The 3rd is already present, so we add the 7th. That's prepared and resolved down by step like this. And you just continue in 3 voices, filling in whatever chord tone is missing in the alto. And then once you get to the bass statement of the subject here, then you can continue as you would in any of the other exercises in the treatise, namely going to 3 voices on 6 chords and going to 3 voices on a 7th chord if the 5th is not indicated. And then here you could play 4 voices, and here go back to 3, and here go back to 3. So here, if I didn't indicate that it should be realized in 3 voices, you should realize it in 4, except for those exceptions, namely the 6th chord, the 7th chord without the 5th, the 9 chords, and so forth. Let's hear the beginning of this fugue. Continuing on. And here you can just go into 3 voices. I won't give it away because it's more fun to try to realize it on your own. And this fugue continues for another page, and then there are 3 more to experiment with. Okay, in the final video, we'll talk about enharmonicism and chromaticism, the last example.